glared in at her. She had clung to her mother, trembling in fear. He studied Amelia with burning eyes for what seemed an eternity, then slammed the door in her face and fled to the forest with his brethren. They disappeared into the glistening Highland mist like a pack of wolves. The sense of terror Amelia felt now was no different, except that it was mixed with anger. She wanted to kill that savage who had opened the door of her coach years ago. She wanted to rise up and shout at him, to slay him with her own bare hands, to prove that she was not afraid. The floor creaked, and she turned her head on the pillow. No, it could not be. She must still be dreaming. A Highlander was moving toward her through the darkness. Panic swept through her, and she strained to see through the murky gloom. The light sound of his footsteps reached her ears, and suddenly he was above her, raising an axe over his head. "No!" she cried, reaching out to block the strike, even when she knew the heavy blade would cut straight through her fingers. She squeezed her eyes shut. When the death blow did not fall, Amelia opened her eyes. The brawny, panting savage stood squarely over her bed. His axe was poised and gleaming in the moonlight from the window. His long hair was wet with grime or sweat or river water, she knew not which. Most terrible of all, his eyes glowed with the boiling furies of hell itself. "You're not Bennett," he said in a deep, growling Scottish brogue. "No, I am not," she replied. "Who are you?" "I am Amelia Templeton." He had not yet lowered the macabre weapon, nor had she lowered her trembling hands. "You're English," he said. "That's right. And who are you to dare enter my bedchamber at night?" She wasn't quite sure where she found the courage or sense to inquire so boldly about his identity when her heart was pounding like a mallet in her chest. The Highlander took a step back and lowered the axe. His voice was deep and terrorizing. "I'm the butcher, and if you scream, lassie, it'll be the last breath you take." She held her tongue, for she'd heard tales of the brutal and bloodthirsty butcher of the Highlands, who committed grisly acts of treachery and left a trail of murder and mayhem in his wake. According to legend, he was descended from Gawain of the battle-axe, who had long ago crushed an invading fleet of Vikings. The butcher was never without his morbid death weapon, and he was a Jacobite traitor, straight to the bone. "If you are who you claim, why have you not killed me?" she asked, fear and uncertainty burning in every pore. "I was expecting to kill someone else tonight." His sharp, animal eyes surveyed the room, searching for some hint of the person he'd come to slaughter. "Whose room is this?" "There is no one here but me," she informed him. But his heated gaze swung in her direction and compelled her to answer the question more thoroughly. "If you are looking for Lieutenant Colonel Richard Bennett, I am sorry to disappoint you, but he is away from the fort." "Where?" "I don't know exactly." He studied her face through the moonlight. "Are you his whore?" "I beg your pardon?" "If you are, I might slice your head off right now and leave it here in a box on the table for him to admire when he returns." A nightmarish queasiness churned through her belly as she imagined her head in a box. Where would he put the rest of her? Would he toss her headless body out of the window? She struggled to breathe evenly, in and out. "I am not Colonel Bennett's whore. I am his betrothed. My father was a colonel in the English army, and the 5th Duke of Winslow. So if you mean to kill me, sir, be done with it. I am not afraid of you." It was a bald-faced lie, but she would not let him see her cower. Something in his face changed. One large, strong hand squeezed the handle of his axe, and he lifted it to rest on the edge of the bed. She found herself staring mutely down at the dangerous hook at its tip, which was pressing against her thigh. She noted the huge broadsword in the scabbard at his side, and the flintlock pistol in his belt.